what's going on, guys? It's MaxMax24, and for those of you who don't know, I am on TikTok. I upload almost every day on TikTok, and I've garnered a little bit of a following there. This time I'm recording this, about 24K followers. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, go follow me on TikTok. Or if you do follow me on TikTok and you don't subscribe to me on YouTube, come subscribe to me on YouTube. But on there, I do this series called Movies That Deserve Sequels. Now, what is this? These are movies that I really enjoyed that I think deserve sequels, that have not gotten sequels. Either they don't have one announced, or there's not one in the works, or it's just been so long ago that they just don't care anymore, or it didn't do well at the box office. These are movies that I think would be great with sequels, right? Now, the movies vary in quality. Some of them aren't very good, but the world that they create, I think, would be really interesting to explore more. But I've done a couple episodes of this, a lot, like 15, 16, 17, something like that. And TikTok doesn't have a playlist feature yet. It's rolling it out, but it's really hard to keep track of them. And people on YouTube who subscribe to me who don't follow me on TikTok can't see them. So that's why I've decided to create this beautiful little compilation of all of the movies that I think deserve sequels. These are all my fancy little TikToks, all for your viewing. Before we get into that compilation, please always remember to drop a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, all that jazz, all the fun stuff us YouTubers tell you guys to do. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I upload most on Twitter and TikTok, sometimes on Facebook, barely on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook, subscribe to me here. And with that, let's get into movies that deserve sequels. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go. Dredd was freaking fantastic. It was such a good sci-fi movie. It took place in the future, where judges are the judge, jury, and executioner. It took place in one tower in Mega City 1, and they had to climb from the bottom of the tower to the top to stop the Mama clan. There was high-stakes action, really cool effects, and it was just such a fun movie. It's very bloody and gory, so if you're young and little, maybe don't watch it without your parents' permission. It's sad that it did not get a sequel, because the world of Dredd is such an interesting world, alright? And this movie was fantastic. It's one of my favorite sci-fi movies. It didn't do well at the box office to warrant a sequel, and that is so sad. But please give us a sequel. If we can adventure into the world of Dredd one more time, just one more time, that would be amazing, okay? Because the world of Dredd is awesome. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go! Many people don't realize this, but the Incredible Hulk is actually a part of the MCU. It's often forgotten by a lot of people, and that's because pretty much nothing from it was carried over. Alright, Edward Norton got replaced by Mark Ruffalo, and a lot of the plot lines besides Thunderbolt Ross were just completely forgotten about. But the movie has its enjoyable moments. We get to see Abomination in live action, and the fight between Hulk and Abomination is really fun and really good. It's definitely a weaker entry to the MCU, but it's still fun, and you still should not skip out on it when you're doing an MCU rewatch. And they set it up to have a sequel. They set up the leader at the end, they freaking got us all hyped for a possible sequel, but none of that ever saw fruition. And it probably never will be, so this is just me really praying and hoping. It will probably never see a sequel to this since Mark Ruffalo is now Hulk, and we're not getting more Hulk movies, but please give us a sequel. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go. The Lego Movie 2 wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still a really fun, good animated movie, and it deserves a sequel. Some of you might be saying, well, of course there's a sequel coming. It's the Lego Movie series. But there is a chance we won't get one. Universal now owns the rights to distribute Lego movies, but Warner Brothers still owns the Lego movie characters, especially Batman. Batman's a DC property, so of course they own him. So that puts the Lego Movie 3 in jeopardy. And the Lego Movie 2 also did not do as good as the first one. It didn't do very well in the box office. The entire Lego Movie series is in jeopardy. The third spin-off was canceled. We don't know if we're getting a Lego Batman movie 2, so we don't know if we're going to get a Lego Movie 3 either. But I love the Lego Movie franchise, and I want to see it continue growing and getting better, so please, please make one, please. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go. I love the Gremlins series. I think the Gremlins are just so adorable, and it's just such a fun series, right? But why have we only gotten that third one? The first one was obviously better, I think most of us can agree on that, but Gremlins 2 took it to the next level and made it just hilarious, alright? It wasn't creepy, but it was hilarious, and that's what I liked about it, alright? You had a gremlin singing New York. Wow, it can't get more awesome than that. I'm surprised we're not getting a third one. Apparently we might be getting a reboot of the series, but it's gonna be creepy and like more horror-based. But I want something more like Gremlins and Gremlins 2, right? Gremlins 1 wasn't scary, it was cute. Gremlins 2 was funny. I want something like that. I want a Gremlins 3, alright? I need me some more Gizmo in my life. Give me some more Gizmo, please. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go! Solo was another fun-filled Star Wars movie that sadly did not get the attention it deserved. Was it wanted? No. Was it needed? Also no. But it was still good. Yes, it answered questions we did not even need to be answered, but it gave us a fun, smuggling, outlaw-like Star Wars movie, and I want to see more of that. It explored the criminal underworld a little bit, it added elements of smuggling, and it just showed us the seedy part of the Star Wars universe. And who can forget Donald Glover's Lando? That was probably the highlight of the movie. But the movie didn't do well at the box office, and that started Disney's whole, we're going to take a step back from Star Wars for a little bit and take a break. But I want a Solo 2, either in TV show format or movie format. I want to continue the Solo storyline. They set it up at the end for a sequel. I want to see that play out, and I also really want to see Donald Glover as Lando a lot more times. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go! Warcraft told the tale of the early days of World of Warcraft, before there was a World of Warcraft, and it was enjoyable. Video game movies are always hit or miss, but me personally, I think this was a hit. The problem is, it was made for World of Warcraft fans, and not for the average moviegoer. And it didn't do super well, but I think it deserves a sequel. The World of Warcraft lore is so intriguing, and they can make a sequel with Arthas as the villain, and that would be friggin' awesome. Cast Henry Cavill as Arthas, and I am here for it. The orcs looked super impressive. Azeroth itself looked really impressive, alright? I want to see Azeroth again on the big screen. Please make it on the big screen again, or a TV show, either one. I think the World of Warcraft story deserves the spotlight. It's a great story. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go! Man of Steel kicked off the DCEU and was the first time we got to see Henry Cavill don the red cape. Was it great? No. Was it enjoyable? Yes. And it does deserve a sequel. Before you attack me, I enjoyed this movie. I did. I thought it was good. I thought it was enjoyable. It was a really nice take on Superman. But it did have some pacing issues, alright? There was significant pacing issues. Some weird things going on with the editing. And overall, it wasn't as good as it could have been. But it wasn't bad either. It was a weaker start to a cinematic universe than Iron Man was for the MCU. But it was still a decent start. And it deserves a sequel so badly. But now, the DCEU is just a mess. We don't even know if Henry Cavill is still Superman. We have no idea what's going on with Superman or Batman. We know what's going on with some of the other characters, but not Superman or Batman. But give us a sequel, please. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go! Alright, hear me out on this one. This movie was not good. It was not enjoyable. I own it just because there was a Deadpool cover variant, but it is not a good movie. Michael Fassbender tried his best, and it just did not save this train wreck. However, the Assassin's Creed series would be a great adaptation to movie or TV, so they should try again. The effects were good. The effects looked nice. The story was not good. But if they adapted like the Ezio trilogy, or if they brought in the Fry twins, or if they had Edward Kenway be the lead, maybe it could be good. Or even if they tried again with a new unique assassin. Just don't make it like this. Make it better. I'm no film creator, so I don't know exactly what you do to make it better, but I know it's possible. The Assassin's Creed series deserves big screen fun. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go. Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales was the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean. And although it wasn't as good as the first couple, it's really hard to be as good as the first couple, it was a lot better than the 4th one. And it deserves a sequel. The future of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise is really up in the air right now. There's talks of them doing a reboot with Margot Robbie, as well as rumors of another Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And then Disney is definitely distancing themselves from Johnny Depp after he lost the defamation case, just like how Warner Brothers distanced themselves from him as well. But the ending of Pirates of the Caribbean 5 hinted at a sequel, alright? Spoilers for those of you who don't know, but Pirates of the Caribbean had all the curses removed, but then at the end, under Will Turner's bed was a little barnacle thing that hinted at the return of Davy Jones. I want to see this play out, alright? Please make a sequel. I know you probably won't, but please. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go. Star Trek Beyond was the third Star Trek movie in the Star Trek Kelvin timeline, and I thought it was pretty good. Some diehard Star Trek fans may argue that the Star Trek J.J. Abrams movies didn't capture the essence of Star Trek, but that's okay. They were fun sci-fi adventures. And Star Trek Beyond was the closest to capturing that essence. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. But now, the future of the Star Trek franchise is very up in the air right now. With scheduling conflicts, the fact that Star Wars is on the market, and they just keep pushing it back and back. They keep changing writers and directors. But I think they could make a very successful Star Trek 4. There's no reason that we need to pick and choose between Star Wars or Star Trek in theaters. They could alternate. And if you can't get Chris Pine to come back as Kirk, why not start a Picard series? I think they're really missing out on what could be a very profitable franchise. So hurry up. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go. So I'm going to start this off by saying I'd rather Pixar make original movies. I think they do better when they make original movies. But they seem to want to make sequels to a lot of their franchises, so I don't know why they don't make an Incredibles 3. I don't want to have to wait another decade for an Incredibles 3. Why did we get 3 Cars movies, 3 Toy Story movies, a sequel to Finding Nemo, a sequel to Monsters, Inc., well before we got Incredibles 2. It doesn't make sense. What other series do they have that they could make a compelling franchise out of? Superheroes are beloved by many people, so if Pixar had a headlining superhero franchise, I think it could do very well. And then they can just throw Cars away, because Cars, they seem to be really wanting to make into this long franchise, and it's just not working. Toy Story's done. Don't make any more Toy Story. But Incredibles, you could tell endless stories with that. I don't really want you to do that, but if you're going to do sequels, do Incredibles sequels. Let's go. The Lego Batman movie was the first Lego spin-off. The other one was Lego Ninjago, and that wasn't very good. It made fun of Batman in such glorious ways. This movie is just such an enjoyable film. However, ever since the Lego Movie 2 did not do well in the box office, the Lego Movie franchise changed hands and Warner Brothers no longer holds the rights. However, Warner Brothers does hold the rights to all the characters, including Batman, so that puts the entire future of the franchise in jeopardy. They can no longer make the movies, but they still own the characters. And they originally had a Lego Batman 2 planned amongst other projects, but now that seems to be shelved. Which is really sad because this movie was so funny and Will Arnett was a great Batman, and it set up the possibility for sequels. Please, somebody out there give me a Lego Batman 2. Please, Warner Brothers, do something. Please, somebody strike a deal and we get Lego Batman 2. I need more Lego Batman on my screens. I don't want the moody Batman. I want the Lego Batman. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go. So yes, I'm aware that we have the Tom Holland Spider-Man now, and Andrew Garfield probably will never return as Spider-Man unless the rumors about Spider-Man No Way Home are true. But I do think he deserves a third movie. Tobey Maguire got a third movie. Tom Holland's getting a third movie. I feel bad that Andrew Garfield got screwed out of his third movie. His series was never the best. It never was. But he was still good, and it was fun to watch him. The first one has a lot of memorable scenes. I mean, the big fight against the lizard in the library where Stan Lee's just jamming out to his headphones is such an iconic scene. It's so great. And yeah, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was pretty weak, alright? It wasn't as bad as some people say it is, but Electro and the Green Goblin were just laughable. I still think he should deserve another shot. He was great as Spider-Man. He was kind of a weird Peter Parker, but he was a great Spider-Man. Hopefully the rumors about No Way Home are true. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go. The Transformers series has always been all over the place. Michael Bay created a non-stop action-filled series that wasn't very deep, wasn't very good, but it was a lot of fun to watch. However, once Age of Extinction came around in the last night, people were giving up on the Transformers franchise because they wanted more from it. And then out of nowhere came Bumblebee, which actually delivered a really good story. It felt like an Iron Giant, but live action. It was so good. If you skipped out on Bumblebee, you have to go watch Bumblebee. It's got a great story, and it's a really well-crafted movie. However, it didn't do amazing at the box office because people were already tired of Transformers, so they skipped out on it. And now the future of the Transformers series is really up in the air. We really don't know what's going on. There was talks of Bumblebee 2, but we have no idea. There was talks of Last Night sequel. We have no idea. Give me a Bumblebee 2. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go. Alright, now hear me out on this one. Now this movie is not particularly good. The plot is very thin and boring. There's not a lot of character development here. There's just a lot of stuff that happens. Way too much is crammed into this movie. But the movie looks great, the CGI is great, and the soundtrack is great. The idea of giant cities on wheels is such an interesting idea. I want them to explore this world more on the big screen or on the television screen, either one. The problem with this movie is it tried to do too much in a small span of time. It should have either cut some stuff out, split it up into 2 parts, or made the film longer. Or this is a property that's made for TV. Whatever the case, I want to see more stories in this world. I want them to adapt the entire series. I think it could be really interesting. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go. The Ted series is a dumb series about a man and his teddy bear. But it is also a hilarious series. It has me laughing constantly every time I turn it on. It's got the Seth MacFarlane humor from Family Guy. It's got great acting from Mark Wahlberg and Seth MacFarlane as the teddy bear. And it's just a lot of fun. We only got 2 in the series though, and I don't know why. Alright, Ted 2, I think I enjoyed Ted 2 a lot more than Ted 1. I think Ted 2 makes me laugh a lot more. So I would love to see a Ted 3. Seth MacFarlane, what are you doing besides Family Guy? Get on making Ted 3. Does Disney own it now? Disney, get on making Ted 3. We don't have enough dumb comedies that are actually pretty funny coming out. So get on making it. Movies that deserve sequels. Let's go. Jason Bourne is the 5th movie in the Bourne series, and probably the weakest one out of all of them. The first 3 Bourne movies are classic action movies, and they're adapted from a book series, and they're fantastic. The 4th one replaced Matt Damon with Jeremy Renner as a new character, and only shared the title of the 4th book, not really the plot. And then the 5th movie brought back Matt Damon, but completely threw away the plot of the books. If they went back to the core of the series and adapted all of the books, because there are a lot of books in the Bourne series, if they went and did that, this could be an amazing action franchise. The original Bourne trilogy is such an iconic action series that if you have not watched, you have to go watch. But the series really fell off, but I'd really want to see it make a comeback, because I think it could stand against Mission Impossible and John Wick and be absolutely phenomenal. Please make more. I really want to see more of Jason Bourne. So those were all the movies that I think deserve sequels. Now, I have plans for a lot more of these episodes. There's going to be another compilation at a later date. But if you want to see this content right as it uploads, go follow me on TikTok, MaxMax2444. Yeah, I know, there's 2 extra 4s in there. I don't know why. So follow me on there for all the latest content on a consistent basis. And subscribe to me here for some fun other longer videos. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video.